I used to find meditation so frustrating and so challenging. I couldn't stop thinking, I couldn't sit still, and I didn't know if I was doing it right. But there was one pivotal moment that changed my entire practice. And it's the moment I read these words by Rupert Spira. He says, "To begin with, meditation may seem to be something that we do, but later we discover that it is the natural condition of all beings." So when we think of meditation as something that we do, it becomes really challenging because then we have to get it right. It becomes a performance. But when we realize that meditation is actually our natural condition, there's nothing that we have to do. So meditation instantly becomes effortless. Let's unpack this quote together, and hopefully it'll change your perspective so that you can also meditate with ease. I have a guided meditation inspired by this quote, and it can support you in shifting your perspective. So if you're interested, check out the link in the description below. So Rupert Spira says, in the beginning, meditation may seem to be something that we do. So this is the number one obstacle in our meditation practice. We think that meditation is something that we have to do. When it becomes something that we do, we then become very involved mentally, and also we put in a lot of effort. So that means we try to control and change our experience. So the most common example is that we try to stop thinking. We try to control our thoughts, get rid of our thoughts. Other experiences can be like trying to feel more calm, trying to meditate for longer, or trying to get the technique right. All this trying, all this effort is the doing that Rupert Spira is talking about. So if meditation isn't something that we do, then what is it? If it's non-doing, if it's just being, then what would that look like? So this is the part where I truly began to understand what meditation is. So non-doing looks like noticing, observing, and witnessing. These are things that happen naturally, and these aren't things that we actually have to put effort into. But then what happens when we notice, observe, and witness is that we begin to react, then judge, and try to control. So, for example, when we try to stop our thoughts, let's say we're sitting in meditation, our mind is really busy, we can't stop thinking. It happens to me all the time. So when I didn't know that meditation is about non-doing, I would immediately react because I didn't want to be thinking. I thought that it was wrong to think during meditation. So I would get frustrated, I would get annoyed, and then immediately I would judge. I would start criticizing myself for not being a good meditator, and I would judge my practice as bad. Like this wasn't a good meditation because I was thinking. So with a very clear expectation that I shouldn't be thinking during meditation, it naturally leads to trying to control my thoughts, trying to control my experience, and the practice itself becomes very frustrating. So then what does non-doing look like? It's noticing without controlling, noticing without reacting, and noticing without judging. We're so used to mentally responding to everything that we notice. But in meditation, we're practicing noticing, full stop. Nothing else, just noticing. And actually, there's so much power in our awareness because even when it comes to stopping our thoughts, if we try to control our thoughts, stop them, it actually doesn't work. We actually end up thinking more, we actually get more frustrated. But if we just become aware of our thoughts, so you notice that moment when you're thinking, what happens is your awareness breaks that chain of thought. It happens instantaneously. There's no effort involved. So meditation teaches us that there's no need to force anything. Our awareness holds so much power, and our awareness is natural. It's not something that we have to learn, and it's not something that we have to consciously do. And that's why Rupert Spirit says meditation is a natural condition of all beings. There's nothing that we have to learn. Everyone knows how to meditate. It's natural to all of us. And these words were so liberating for me because I had been trying so hard to get meditation right, to be a good meditator. And then this teacher was telling me that there's nothing that I need to do. It's natural to me. So I thought, okay, sleeping is also natural to me. So let me just close my eyes, relax, and act like I'm taking a break. Maybe I'll fall asleep, that's okay. But if it's natural to me, then there's nothing that I really need to do. So I stripped away all the effort. I let go of everything that I'd learned, that I'd read, that I'd heard about, and I just relaxed. And that was the first time that I meditated with ease. And it was such an eye-opening experience because it helped me to realize that I was the one that was making meditation so difficult. It's the trying, it's the doing, the controlling that makes meditation such an uncomfortable experience. So meditation isn't about trying to change our mood, to try and find inner peace, or to change anything about our experience. It's about noticing all the ways that we interfere with our experience. What we do after we notice, how we react, how we respond. And this doesn't just apply to meditation. This is a lesson for our whole lives. All of our doing, all of our effort is what makes life more challenging than it needs to be. When we try to control or manipulate ourselves, other people, or the outcome, that's when we find that the experience becomes really difficult. This is a practice of noticing how you are interfering with your experience. So take that with you. The next time you meditate, when you notice that you're interfering, you're trying to control, to change, to manipulate your experience, just pause and let that go. And this is the practice. We don't get it right the first time. It takes time to develop that awareness and also the habit of responding in a different way. So I hope this helps you with your practice. If you're struggling with your meditation, know that you're not alone. I've been meditating every day for 6 years and it's still a challenging experience, but I think that's the whole point of this because it's really about noticing how we make our life difficult. And it's remembering that it doesn't have to be so hard. We do have control because we are the ones that make our experiences more difficult than they need to be.